Hello, and welcome to this collective and timeless reading. This is Estar Tarot, and today I'm going to be asking for the collective what Spirit wants us to focus on right now. What is it? Where should we put our energy? Where should we put our focus right now? What's most important to focus on? So I'm going to draw. This is the Wild Unknown archetypes. And I'm going to see what card we can draw today to represent that. Okay, so I only call in my ancestors, spirit guides, and guardian angels to deliver answers for the highest and greatest good of the collective. Can we get a card to represent what Spirit wants us to focus on right now? What is the theme of this reading? Forest. Interesting. Here. Well, right off the bat, I'm noticing there's this rainbowish background right now. And there's this beginning of a gemstone right at the bottom. And then you've got all these white birds flying in the background. It's interesting. And we've gotten, today I've brought with me, I think it's a piece of, I can't really remember what this is, to be honest with you. I think it's jade or emerald, but it's a really nice polished stone, very nice pale green. Yeah, I really like it, and this is what I felt like bringing today. And this little bear totem, which is, kind of funny, but I like it. Been feeling a lot with bears lately, so maybe bears mean something significant to you, and I think, bears hang out in the forest, and sometimes that's what we're scared of, running into in a forest. Maybe this is about confronting fear, because sometimes going into the forest can be scary, that we don't know what's going to be in there. And this forest looks really, really dark. It's a spruce conifer forest, so sometimes that can be a little spooky, a little nerve-wracking. I don't know. Just something interesting going on here. Yeah, let me go grab the book. One sec. Sorry about that. So, I just grabbed the book to check. Basically the same ideas that I was saying. There can be a little bit of fear that gets brought up with the forest because it's where we can get lost, right? And there's bears in the woods, right? We don't know what's in there. And this can be a metaphor for life, right? Like sometimes when we go onto a new path, it can be a little scary. We don't know what we're going to encounter, but the forest demands that we get lost in it, that we challenge our fear a little bit, that we are confronted a bit even. We can also encounter good things in the forest. The forest is a mystical place where there can be many things, good things as well. We can meet, fairies, a friendly shaman. We could also just meet ourselves in the forest. Sometimes when we see our fears fully, which we can only do when we allow ourselves to feel them, we can see who we truly are. Yeah, so there's a lot of wisdom in the forest. Very interesting. I think I want to maybe get one more card. Can we get another card? Oh, here it is. Althea, truth. Yes. So I've gotten this card enough now that I can kind of remember it. Truth. So finding the real truth. And that comes from the truth of ourselves, facing ourselves, right? Our light and our shadow. And so maybe you need to do some shadow work. Maybe that's what the focus needs to be right now for our lives. Yeah. We have to find the truth of ourselves by going in the dark a little, getting a little scared. Maybe you're setting out on a new adventure, and that can feel a little bit scary. But, we're not going to find a new version of ourselves unless we get out there, right? So I'm just going to get some tarot cards as well. I'm going to use the Patch Tarot. Oh, look. Rainbows again. It's like the dark and the rainbow, dark and the rainbow. So there's like this rainbow white light, and then there's also this darkness, but It's the darkness that makes the rainbow stand out, right? Interesting. A very interesting theme going on here. Okay, so what can our guides tell us what, give us a picture of what the collective is going to be focusing on, what they should be focusing on. All right, well, those came out. Interesting. All right, Queen of Discs and Eight of Discs. So this has a lot to do with the material world. Maybe your abundance and your career by extension is going through a bit of a reevaluation. The way that she's sort of holding out her hand, and this fish, in just the angle of it, looks like the fish is coming out of her hand. But I get the sense that there might be this woman coming in who is going to help you along with your career. Yeah, there's going to be something going on there with maybe an opportunity is coming in. You know, I think of river giving us a lot of abundance, food. And look, hey, the forest is in the background there. So it's like the river came through the forest and you came to this fish. It could have to do with survival because, like, you know, I think going to the woods and then finding a river to fish at, to feed ourselves. Yeah. This could even be a guide that's guiding you. I think with this shield, like they're protecting and shielding you, as well as showing you what can be, what can happen if you keep the faith. Yeah. Very interesting. I think I want to switch these because I get the sense that there's also this aspect of meditation and contemplation and enjoying your own labor, enjoying the process of your labor, because you're building all these flowers and it's beautiful, it's wonderful. But the book here also, maybe you're writing as a form of career or sustenance. I don't know in what way. Maybe you're an editor, even something like that, or you work at a library. But it doesn't have to be so literal. But you know, if that resonates, you know, take it with you. But I think the important part is the sun over here too, and that their sense of peace in this card. This card is, yeah, sun in Virgo. Being careful. So you got to be discerning about these opportunities, because not because that they're necessarily going to be a trick or anything bad, but we can lead ourselves down the wrong path. We can get ourselves lost in the forest if we don't know our own spirit, our own heart. So, and what are, simply put, what our desires are, what we actually want. Are we just kind of meandering and taking what comes along to us? Or are we moving with discernment, moving with a goal? Are we heading towards something that we really want? We got to make sure, we got to check in. So yeah, meditate with yourself, and maybe even just write down. Maybe that represents just writing out what you really want. Ooh, there's a rush of a bus by. But I take that as confirmation. So, you know, maybe you got to really write things out. Maybe that's how you process better. So that could be really helpful in this situation. Yeah, just to sort out your thoughts, sort out your feelings. Like, maybe even just write down a scenario where this, you know, if there's something you think that you want, write down a scenario where everything happens like that, right? And then see how you feel about it. Sit back and see how you feel about that thing that you wrote down. How would you feel if that was reality? Sometimes when we fully imagine something like that, it can let us know what our feelings are, right? What we really feel about it. Yeah. Oh, and we got the crown on top. So yeah, engage with your spiritual side. What lights you up? Oh wow, I love this card because there's this dragon coming in, and this person, they're engaging their light body and they're hanging over the earth. Yeah. Maybe you've got some dragon energy coming in to help you. So let's just see here. Ooh, can we get any more cards for clarification? Just one more. Oh yes, Inspiration, Ace of Wands. So yeah, you're getting inspiration of what you want to do. What's in your heart? What do you really... And this could even be an opportunity coming in as well. Yeah, I like this feather here too. And it's like a crystal wand with fire in it. Sorry to... Just listening and thinking. And she's holding it over her crown. So I think you're getting some inspiring ideas coming in. Ideas for your future, what you could have, what you want. And it's going to open up for you. Just starting to imagine those things is really going to open up your entire world and unlock your creativity. Your creativity is expanding right now. Yeah, you're really coming into yourself fully. Your creation is going to take off. Yeah, what's the sense I get from this? Do I need more tarot cards? No, I don't think so. All right. Now I think I would like a Seed and Sickle card as well. Yeah. All right, let's see here. How is our creativity expanding? How are we getting these new ideas? What's coming in for us? Oh, I'm going to take this first card because actually when I first picked up this deck, this was sitting on the bottom and now it's popped out again. So I feel like Ivy's really talking right now. Yeah, let's see what Ivy has to say. Cards are going all over the place. 35. Ooh, maybe that means something significant to you. It means something to me. 35. Yeah. Interesting. It's got a little vase here. I think I'm gonna have to look at the book though, because I have not read this card before. Yeah, Ivy, you're almost there, just a little farther. Yes. So your creativity is unlocking. It is coming in. Like the tenacious ivy vine, there is no height you cannot reach in your journey to find the sun. The sun, right there. You're going to find the sun, and that can mean your happiness, your abundance, the radiance inside, you know? The climb might seem impossible at times, and occasionally you'll feel as though you're making no progress at all, as walls and buildings block your path, but slow growth is still growth, and your achievements will be all the sweeter for how difficult the climb has been. Don't give up. Oh my gosh. So I think it was my last reading, I was talking about a random story about a caterpillar I was watching climb up this wood railing, and how it was making such slow progress up one little step at a time. But it managed to climb the mountain, or at least the mountain to it was the railing. It just resonates so much. Yeah, so just don't give up. Like, it's not going to happen overnight, you know? If you suddenly are unlocking your creative abilities and they've been blocked or unused for a long time, it may take you some time to get things going again, but also don't expect results overnight because, you know, things have to get going at their own pace, right? Sometimes we have to really ease back into something. So don't be impatient with yourself, right? Don't lose patience with yourself and your progress, because all progress is progress, right? Every step counts towards the end goal. And really, you know, the journey is, we're supposed to enjoy the journey, right? We're not supposed to be only goal focused. And maybe that's, you know, because I was asking about what we need to focus on. But this reading is sort of saying, you know, don't get too focused on a goal. Just focus on the journey, right? It's very, very wise advice, right? Do you need another card here? Yeah. Oh, gosh. Sickle. The sickle, the harvesting. So yeah, because like just before I look at the book, I'm thinking, you know, a sickle, we use that to cut the harvest, but you know, it's fun to watch things grow as well, right? We can't just be focused on harvesting, the moment of harvest, right? Our time of harvest will come, but the whole process is something to enjoy. The entire growth of the plant is something we're supposed to enjoy. The harvest is kind of the end, right? So there's sort of this melancholy actually to it, right? And then we move on to something else, a different season, a different mode of being. So you shouldn't really, just when you're starting something, don't be focused on the end of it, right? Because you want to enjoy, you're doing it for a reason, because you want to enjoy that thing, right? Yeah, I'll just take a look at the book. So this is a new deck and I'm not as familiar, so I don't want to miss anything. You've done it. This card represents finality and endings. All your hard work has come to fruition and now it's time to reap the rewards. The sickle is a tool for harvesting, a link between your body and the bounty you have worked for through your own expansion. Your harvest is gathered, your loose ends are tied off, and you can draw a deep breath knowing that you've earned every moment of this. And just around the corner, next spark of inspiration awaits. Inspiration, Ace of Wands. Yeah, you're getting inspired. But I think also this can represent you're coming out of time. You've ended a cycle, and that's why this new one is starting up. You've ended something. Yeah, you cut off from something. Maybe even just past attachments, past modes of being, past ways of being. Maybe even people as well. But you've wielded the sickle and you've cut away what's not necessary, and now you're focusing on what matters, and that is the thing that you really want, the thing you really enjoy, which is your creative expression. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, because you're done with this way of being. You're done with what you've been doing so far because it just wasn't working out for you. It wasn't who you were, and you know we can't just stifle our inner. Because our creativity, a lot of it comes from our inner child. And if we're keeping it locked inside, we're kind of stifling our inner child. And that's not what they need. That's not what they want, right? So this is important work, and you're focusing on the right things. Okay, so gonna have a Seasons of the Witch Oracle card, I think, today. Since, you know, we've got a lot of plants and harvesting in our theme here. Now, let's see. Yeah, I think maybe just one card from here to help collective this reading. Any messages from the collective? Maybe two. Okay, aromatherapy. There's a fragrance bellowing with the essence of nourishment that is asking for a deeper seeking into yourself. Yeah, you need to be nourished by your creativity. Look at you doing your crafts, and there's flowers blooming from your hair, and all these fairy spirits are coming in to aid you because you're working with the fairies. Maybe you do actually work with the fairies. You're like, yeah, you're receiving messages from the divine. I don't know what exactly you do. Maybe you do, right? And you get inspiration from spirits, or maybe you literally do aromatherapy. Like maybe you gather plants, do herbalism, or maybe you just do magic by living your everyday and crafting things for yourself. It could even mean that. Like I could even see like a homemaker here, like someone who's just, you know, staying home and taking care of their kids and making delicious meals for people, or being a community, a member of the community, an activist in the community, helping others. Maybe even, I'm hearing even making food for the poor, like you're feeding the poor. I don't know if that's something you do, but yeah, I really see this here. Wow. And there's scales here. It's one of her tools, but I see like balance. Oh my gosh. And look, do you see that little wand with the curve at the end? It's the sickle. The sickle's in here too. There's such a theme going on. You gathered all your growing the plants here, and then you're harvesting and arranging in a pot and being creative with it. And then look here, you're on a roll crafting. It's crazy. Yeah, and the 4 is very protective. Like, you've got spirits here, right? And I think a 4 is like an angelic number. So yeah, you're working with spirit. And that's why your old life is shedding away, because it doesn't work for you anymore. It's not what you need. Here, maybe I'll just take a quick look at the book. Lately I've been really book reliant, but I should probably trust my intuition. Keywords: prioritize well-being, seek alternative forms of self-care, immediate call for wellness. Yeah, so also, and that makes sense with the 4, the protective number of 4. So maybe this really does have to do with you doing stuff at home, like, that are just self-care things. Like, you can do magic that way too, you know. It doesn't have to be some grand gesture in society that, like, you know, it can be, but it doesn't have to be. Like, this could just be you holding a vibration in your home and your happiness. Just you being happy can hold a vibration that can heal the world, is what I'm hearing. So make sure you're taking time to take care of yourself. Yeah. Just check in here in the book, see if there's anything else that maybe I didn't think of. Yeah, it's mostly about self-care here. It talks about digital detox some. That could really help. I've been doing that a bit lately. You know, TikTok's one of my, it used to be one of my worst addictions, but now it's something I really don't resonate with much, because it always fills me with stress, and it can be really informative, right? Sometimes TikTok feels like the only place you can find the real news, you know, but see what's really going on. But you also got to take a step back from that at times. Make sure you're not getting sucked in, because, like, when we all collectively get into an energy, we're all collectively manifesting something, and if it isn't good, if it's a really dark energy, a really sad thing, then, you know, things kind of get out of control, and we have to pull back and come back into our reality of just ourselves and our communities, because oftentimes that's more stable, that's more has a higher resonance, has a higher vibration. There's a lot of lower vibrations out there that can suck us in, so make sure you're not getting taken in by that. Yeah, so I'm glad I looked at the book just to get that little cue about digital boundaries, let's call it. Now, because we took a Astera, I really want to get a Yule, because we've got this dance between life, birth, and death here. And the Astera is kind of like the rebirth deck, and this is like death deck. So, yeah, let's get one from Yule as well to help with us understand this message here. This one? Ooh, Cold Moon. If you don't know, there's I think it's from Native American tradition, but all the moons have different names. There's a depending on the season and the time of the year. I know there's a buck moon. I think there's a beaver moon. Actually, I'm not sure on that one, but I know there's a frog moon for sure. And it's the frog moon because that's when the frogs return. And the buck moon is like during the rut season, I think. Yeah, so, you know, the cold moon, I believe, is during winter, maybe January or February, one of those. The coldest moon of the year, basically. Take with thee the dreariest of moments, release me for their tongue, and nourish me with light. Release me for their tongue. That's interesting phrase. I'm getting the sense that there are some things that might be some energies holding you back from this self-care, and it's not even like necessarily a person acting in your life. It's like your own thoughts. It's your own attachments, maybe. your attachments to things that happened in the past that were really difficult to go through. But this is sort of saying, you know, take the good moments and move forward. Maybe someone was saying mean things to you. Maybe you've been verbally abused as well. I'm hearing that. That's good. I kind of see this as like a cold mother. Maybe you had some kind of harsh childhood things that you went through that involved your parents. But I'm really getting, or even a sibling, but I'm really getting a mother energy from that, or maybe even an older sister that was sort of like a mother. Yeah. Coldness. Really getting coldness from this. So maybe you were just like kind of ignored or treated coldly and you didn't deserve it. This deck look like the green is really makes me think of the heart chakra. Right? So what's that? Well, something sticking to there. But yeah, like coldness just in your heart is what I'm getting. There's been some coldness in your heart that's stuck with you, and it's come from past experiences. I'm getting with family a lot, or maybe even with just maybe even a dark woman, or just a female figure in your life. Maybe I'll read the passage here. Okay. Release, purge, resourcefulness, nurturing. Yeah, so that kind of goes along. We were talking about releasing the past, and then there's nurturing, which goes along with like a mother, right? But you got to nurture the light, because sometimes how we move on is we remember the good and the bad, and we accept both, and we choose to remember the good as well and move forward with that, not because we're ignoring the past, but because we're only going to let the good things nourish us, right? Remember it with fondness, but also release it. Release the bad, yeah. The full moon is a full moon that occurs in December. Yeah, so winter. Like all full moons, it represents illumination and brings clarity to things that have remained hidden. Having a full understanding of your situation allows you to release what has held you back and see resources that you may have missed otherwise. Now is not the time to give up. There is support and help from you. Yeah. Support. The cold moon is shining on your spread, guiding you to see how many resources you have. You may have to look in unexpected places that perhaps have escaped your notice until now, or you may need a change in perspective. You could be focused on what's wrong rather than seeing the additional pathways to success that are available to you. Yeah. You have to go to unexpected places. The forest. Go into the forest. Maybe also this doesn't have to be a negative influence from the past either. This could be someone new you're meeting, and maybe they could even remind you of someone from the past that makes you nervous and you withhold a bit from them. But maybe they're actually going to bring you some support. Maybe they're going to illuminate something, bring the light to you. Yeah. Remember we were talking about that with Queen of Discs? This could be a woman with an opportunity, a fish. And originally I had her over here, so maybe that was where it was meant to be. Yeah. Maybe processing some things from the past, seeing your truth, the whole truth, the dark and the light, will help you to have a more balanced approach to other people that you meet now. And that will allow you to see the opportunity for support and guidance here. Interesting. This could also be a counselor of some type too. Doesn't have to be all negative. What do I want next? I think I want to get a Land Sky Oracle card as well. I love this deck. This is such a pretty deck. Cards are just beautiful. Let's see here. And very unexpected. I was totally aiming to buy a different deck when I got this deck, and I basically had guidance to go to this deck, and I wasn't expecting it to resonate so much, but it really, really does. Yeah. All right, let's get a card. Maybe you can illuminate what this is that she's going to bring in, or what support this will be. Oh, squirrel. Oh, I hope I can pronounce this. Aparigraha? Aparigraha? I'm so sorry if you're Indian and these pronunciations are bad. I'm going off of zero knowledge here. Oh, I think it might be a chipmunk, not a squirrel, because he's stuffing his mouth, right? Non-greed. So this deck is based on the 8 paths of yoga. Oh, and we got Ganesha on the bottom, love. Non-greed and love, yeah. So maybe you felt before like you had to hold your resources to you, like make sure that no one else takes anything from you, because you've been around people that wanted to take things always from you. But right now you're going to meet the right people, and so you have to practice being a little more open, being a little more generous, or what's the word? Less insecure about resources, or less withholding. And that doesn't have to just mean the material, like you're nuts here. It could also be about like your energy, yourself, like withholding yourself from others. Maybe you need to practice that a little more. Yeah, let's just see. I know that non-greed is from the first path. Yeah. Let's see what it says. Letting go and confidence as well are in here as qualities. This silly chipmunk, chipmunk, reminds us to slow down and consume food and drink mindfully. A scarcity model tells us, scarcity, that was the word I was thinking of, but I couldn't find it. Scarcity, a scarcity mindset. We got to let go of that a little bit. Because when we feel scarcity and we see it everywhere we go, that becomes our reality. Scarcity becomes our reality, but we need to have a mindset of abundance in order to bring in new things. A scarcity model tells us that we will never have enough. Yeah, exactly as I was saying. Aparigraha suggests that you root your decisions in love rather than fear. Yeah, love rather than fear. Go into the forest with love, not fear. Where you would definitely meet a chipmunk. Consider ways to live without your non-greed nature and see this as this is countercultural act. Where do you cling to? What do you need to let go of? Yeah, what do you need to cut away? Got to cut away that mindset of lack. We got to get away from that lack mindset so that we can have enough to, well, it's yeah, because when we let go, we receive, right? We let go, we receive. And that can mean we have to let go of these old attachments, old beliefs about coldness, maybe. Like love is transactional. Love is comes with I'm having trouble with words today, finding words. There's a catch to love, essentially, that we'll have to give up something we don't want to in order to receive love. But love is just abundance, and when we are giving and loving, more and more comes back to us, right? And I think in the past, maybe coldness, love was transactional. Love was something that had a cost to it. And so you develop this warped mindset, and it's not your fault, really, because sometimes we can't always choose our circumstances and what happens to us. So keep that in mind. Don't let your old belief patterns upset the new you, and new things can be brought into you. Yeah, I'm gonna get an angel card because I think some loving guidance would be helpful right now. so can we get some guidance for this collective? You know what to do, yeah. You've got the lamp of illumination here. Archangel Uriel. Yeah, I like Uriel. Trust your inner knowledge and act upon it without delay. Yeah, so don't push away this opportunity. I feel an opportunity coming in for you, and it could just be the opportunity for self-care and self-love. But don't push that away because you've had some negative things in your past. I see this really as progression, like this is the past, this is the future, right? Yeah, like you experienced coldness and had to develop this mentality just to survive in where you were. And you, through meditation and relaxation into finding out who you truly are inside, you've discovered your truth. You've cut away the attachments. You found yourself, your inner fire, your inner spirit. And now you're going into the forest and you're doing self-care. You're going to meet new people. And you just have to receive the opportunity. Yeah. Okay, I do want to do maybe one or honestly, whenever I say a certain number, more come out. So I can't say for sure, but let's get a crystal deck or a crystal card from the deck. Let's see here. Raw Morganite, yeah, I saw that on the bottom. Is that what it is though? I guess so. Raw Morganite. I'm thinking with rawness too, raw. Like raw emotions, and pink like your heart, your higher heart. 4 and 6 make 10. Completion. Yeah. Do I want to move these down? Yeah. Let's just put it right here. Raw Morganite. I feel like I want to get a few crystal cards, but I'm not sure. Yeah, raw Morganite. I think I want to look that up a bit. I feel like I know what it means, but there's just so many crystals to remember. Sensitivity, gentleness, empathy, compassion, the gift of vulnerability, self-forgiveness. Yes. Okay, so yeah, you've got to forgive yourself. You've got to treat yourself with sensitivity and gentleness. You have to recognize these things in the past that affected you, but not in a way that makes you a victim, in a way that gives you power over it. It allows you to control it, understand yourself, and see how you work, and then that way you can change directions, right? No matter how hard the rock, over time water can alter it, making a path where there was none before. Oh my gosh, and look, the river in the forest. Doesn't that seem synchronistic? And water cups in the tarot can represent emotion. So your emotions are kind of bursting through your material and your mental blocks. You're helping yourself by going inward, going into your emotions, and especially the emotions from the past. It's a time to embrace sensitivity and gentleness. Yeah, I'm just glancing through the book here. Don't engage in battles that serve no one. Yeah, okay. Nothing really more than already said, so yeah. Raw Morganite. It's really getting you to be sensitive with yourself. Engage with your sensitivity. Understand that that sensitivity came from a childhood where maybe we didn't get the love and nurturing that we needed. Maybe you're extra sensitive to others and criticism, and that's what makes you pull back, makes you feel like you have to hold all that you have and keep it close to you. But you're going to meet some new people right now that are good for you and that will bring you good opportunities. And and not just like materially, but opportunities for openness and love, for opening your heart up, healing your heart. And you don't want to pass that up. I think I want to get maybe at least 2 more cards. Let's see what else I've got for advice. Fluorite, yeah. Another heart chakra color, because you have your higher heart, which is pink, and your lower heart chakra, which is green. And I think, you know, healing your heart chakra. Yeah, let's get one more as well. Place, yeah. The numbers are interesting here because you got 2 and 4 make 6, and they got 6 with the non-greed chipmunk, right? Very interesting. Yeah. Interesting, yeah. Fluorite, I believe, is about heart healing, but should probably look at the deck. Well, before I do that, maybe I'll just think of it. Fluorite, I believe fluorite also has some purple going through it, so I think this is also about your mind as well. Maybe you need to examine some of the mental programs you have going on that have come from this past. The green also matches with him, doesn't it? Yeah, so fluorite wants you to go into your mental space a bit as well, to examine your thought patterns, control your thought patterns as well, because those are having a great influence. Because you think about it, when we run into people and we're in a fear state, or we still have programs of fear running in us, we can come up with all these stories about what that person thinks of us, just in a scenario where we meet someone new, we can come up with all kinds of programs about what that person thinks about us, what bad things could happen if we let them in, but they're all just random imaginings. They're not real. And they're very much informed by old energy that is gone now, that has been released. You've cut away the old attachments, the old energies with the sickle. So yeah, I think you just need to open yourself up to changing your mindset. I'm sorry, there's a lot of voices going on. What's going on? Maybe there's a lot of chatter going on in your life, and that's keeping you distracted from examining those things. Make time. Even writing it out can be a great way to figure out our mental patterns, right? So, yeah. Okay, I'm looking at the keywords here. Clarity and purity, clear focus, and end of cluttered thinking. Yeah, thinking. This does have to do with your mental programs. It does. When the way forth is clear, a sense of purpose and enthusiasm arises, and the fog of distraction lifts. Yeah, we were talking about those voices being distracting, right? Pure wisdom and freedom and unambiguous intentions. You can achieve clarity by slowing down and consciously choosing to release any confusion and distractions. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so nothing more than we didn't already say. So I think Spirit's trying to tell me you don't need to look at the book, because every time I do, it's like, oh, well, I kind of already said that, so I just need to go trust my intuition more, I guess. Because the intuition tells me, yeah. And this card really fits along with that. This is a card of inner wisdom, divine intelligence, trusting your earned wisdom. Yeah. Because you've done a lot of work, right? You've done a lot of inner work, and by doing that, you've honed your intuition. See this? I don't know if you can make it that face in it, but there's usually a face in the crystal, kind of representing the spirit of the crystal. And this one, he's got a little circle mark over his third eye. It's representing his inner wisdom, right? So you know now from your experiences what people to trust and who, you know how to read people. You know how to tell if someone's giving you a bad feeling. So you don't need to worry. Like, be discerning, but you trust yourself, trust your intuition. If you feel something wrong from someone, trust it. But if you feel a good feeling, also trust that, right? There's good and there's bad. There's dark and there's light. These are both truths in the world. So you can trust the spirits also to help you discern if you ever feel doubt as well. If you're like, I really don't know, ask. Ask the spirits to tell you, and they'll give you answers. They will tell you. And, you know, both these cards, fluoride and nucleus, are about clarity in a way. This is inner knowing and your mind and your heart, right? And the higher heart's between them. I think of it as like a divine heart, like a love of humanity, a greater love, a spiritual love, even. But also love for yourself, because that's one of the greatest vibrations, right? Self-love, self-care. And that's where your creativity can come in. Like taking the time for that comes from a self-love and realizing you have to express to love yourself. Yeah. Yeah. Just trust your inner wisdom that will tell you, your instincts will tell you, and even your body will tell you also when you feel the right feelings around. You'll feel calm around the right people, and you will feel on edge around the wrong people. And it's important to know when we're telling ourselves something is wrong, because our mind can tell us, like our mental programs can tell us, stay away from that I shouldn't trust this person, maybe they'll hurt me. But in our heart we'll feel differently, because we'll feel a longing. We'll be like, well, why do I feel comfortable around this person? Why do I feel at ease? Why do I laugh easier, right? You'll feel tense or locked up and stuttery around the wrong people. And this is all about knowing having the discernment of those feelings. Yeah, being careful, because Sun in Virgo is and we're in Virgo season, but Virgo is and Queen of Disc also is very Virgo. But anyway, this is all about where was I going with this? Yeah, discerning the emotions, the feelings, especially like how it feels in your body. What does it feel like to feel warmth with someone? What does it feel like to be uneasy with someone? Outside of what our mind is saying about it. Because the spiritual sensations are different, right? It's not just our thoughts, it's something beyond. This is so confirming. I almost want to just read it for that. When you are distracted by all the noise and stimulation that are part of our lives now, it can be hard to trust that you have what it takes to make wise choices. The appearance of the clay spirit is a sign that valuable insights can be found through tapping into your intuitive intelligence. Yeah, intuitive intelligence. That inner knowing that is different from what our mind says. Sometimes it comes as thoughts in our head, our intuition, but it's different. It's in a different voice, right? And practice allows us to get better at discerning that, right? Oh my gosh. This is so affirming. It says, when it comes to knowing the truth, there is no substitute for lived experience. That's exactly what I just said. You got to live it. You got to have practice. And maybe that's why these pentacles are coming out, because this is very much like you got to live your spiritual life, right? You have the spiritual fire in you, in your heart, but you got to navigate a 3D world, right? Oh my gosh, I'm just noticing there's so much blue going on here. Blue eyes, blue river, and then the blue crystal. And then you got the green plants, the green guy, and the fluorite. Yeah. And Queen of Discs can be also maybe is like really building material, but I think you gotta balance your heart and your mind. Yeah. Go within, but also use your intelligence, and you'll find a balance. Let love be the key. Let love be your guiding voice. You know more than you think. It says here, you are learning that fear can distort your intuitive intelligence. Yes, we're talking about that. Fear. Being afraid to go in the forest. But the thing about going in the forest is if you use your intuition to guide you, close your eyes and let your intuition tell you the way out, you will be able to navigate the forest and maybe find the good things in the forest if you don't let fear cloud your judgment. Even actually getting lost in the forest, for real. I've been lost in the forest one time and it was a bit scary. But when I stopped and I calmed down, I actually ran in face first into a deer. And we both got startled. But then it was a moment where I was like, okay, this is the time to stop and just think of a plan. Think of what makes sense right now. And then I managed to use my phone, which was dying. All the worst things were happening at that moment. It was getting late in the day. My phone was dying and I was lost. But I used that moment to download a map of where I was. And I was able to use that to figure out the direction I had to go. And I used my knowing. I trusted my heart not to be afraid. And I used my intelligence, but also, I felt in my heart that was what I was supposed to do, and I did it. And it worked out. I got out of the woods and everything worked out fine. I was exhausted, but because I think it turned into about a 6-hour hike because I got lost, right? And but I made it out okay. And it was definitely a learning experience for sure. Yeah. You are wise and loving, and you can get yourself out of the forest. You can get yourself out. And actually, you can even enjoy the process of getting out of the forest. It might be exhausting, but you know how to navigate. Trust your intuitive knowing. Trust your inner knowledge as well, your material knowledge as well. You have everything you need to do this. You can do it. All right, I think that's the end of the reading. This is a very cool reading. I really liked it a lot. A lot of fun little stories. So I really hope this helped. And I don't know if I said at the beginning, but this is a timeless and collective reading. So if it's found its way to you, it's meant for you. And don't worry about dates and time, because the moment reached you when it was supposed to reach you. The universe brings what you need at the time that you need it. This is E-Star Tarot, and if you like the readings here, you can subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll see you back here again. Okay, take care.